What's your experience now, 2 weeks in? Is there actually a fourth branch of government?
There most definitely is. And this is actually really, what Vivek's saying is really goes to the heart of the problem. In order for us to be a true democracy, a functioning democracy, the government must be responsive to the people. That's literally what democracy means. However, when you have a vast unelected bureaucracy that is not answerable to the public, and if the elected officials, if the president, the people in Congress and the Senate actually don't have the power to affect the bureaucracy, and it's actually extremely difficult to affect the bureaucracy, then you do not have rule of the people. You do not have democracy. You have rule of the bureaucracy. And this is obviously wrong. It is unconstitutional. And it is imperative, therefore, that we return power to the people of the country and not have tyranny of the bureaucracy, which we most definitely have had to follow to a degree that is absurd. As Vivek said, it's not just that there's an unconstitutional fourth branch of the government, but it is arguably the most powerful branch of the government. Joni, I see you're back. Would you?
Yes. Can you hear me now?
I can, yes.
Yep.
I apologize, gentlemen. Yes, it hopped to my laptop. I've been working on this for, as Elon said, over a decade now with my Squeal Awards. And there are many in Congress that actually really do care about this.
Absolutely.
The problem, I think, is there are not enough of us that have. And so while I highlight a lot of the abuses, and you wanted some anecdotes, Elon, and I've shared a number of those with you and Vivek.
So I think if the public just, it's hard to resonate. It's hard for the public to resonate with statistics but people can really resonate with powerful anecdotes.
Joni had a bunch of them. Yeah, you had a bunch of them, Joni.
Yeah, I did. Sending kitties to spas to find out whether they produce less fur balls, heck up less fur balls. So yeah, we've spent taxpayer money on that. We put shrimp on a treadmill to see how fast they run. I'm sorry, all of these things, while they may be fun, why are we spending taxpayer dollars on them? And it goes to the point of we've sent millions of dollars to China to study what? COVID.
Yes,
we saw how that ended.
In fact, it's pretty outrageous that the COVID, the virus, was developed in what is a lab in Wuhan, and yet was funded by U.S. tax dollars, which was simply routed through this fake nonprofit EcoHealth, because the U.S. government can't give directly to China, so they just gave to EcoHealth, knowing that it would go to China. So our U.S. tax dollars were used effectively to, in the end, kill Americans, which is insane.
Absolutely insane. And I know, Elon, you have been on AID. You have really, and
that's the one that's missed for sure.
This was another one of my efforts. Yes. And this began years ago when we were trying to figure out what they were doing with our American taxpayer dollars that were going to support humanitarian efforts in Ukraine. So I wanted to know exactly how those dollars were being spent. And not just
a reasonable request.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And I shared this with you earlier, Elon, just privately, but we got all kinds of threats from USAID because I was trying to exercise my oversight capacity in Congress. So
that's just shocking. Honestly, it's outrageous that a taxpayer-funded organization would threaten a U.S. senator who is simply trying to figure out if American taxpayer money is being spent correctly and not fraudulently.
Yes. And so what my staff and I had estimated was that 30 to 40% of the USAID's awards would go to indirect costs. So their overhead, their rent, employees, things like that.
What are they living in, the Taj Mahal?
Hey, but Vivek, okay, after months and months of obstruction where UN wouldn't let us in, they told us the NICRA, the negotiated indirect cost rate agreements, it's a lot of government jargon, but anyway, the indirect cost, they said that the database, it doesn't exist. That was a lie. That was a lie. It was false.
Yes.